Imagine you're an animal hundreds of thousands of years ago. You have no tools, no shelter, no control over the world around you. And there is one thing in nature you fear above all else: fire. Every instinct in your body screams the same command: run. Fire is death. It destroys everything it touches. Nothing survives it. And yet somehow, this terrifying force became the single most important thing humans ever tamed. So how did the most feared thing in nature become the heart of the human home? To understand it, you have to understand just how deep this fear runs. Almost every animal on Earth is terrified of fire, and for good reason. A wildfire can move faster than a human can run. It can leap across rivers. It turns forests to ash and blots out the sky with smoke. For millions of years, fire meant one thing to every living creature: flee or die. But fire on the ancient savanna wasn't rare. Lightning storms set the grasslands ablaze constantly. So early humans grew up in a world where fire was always somewhere on the horizon. And here is where the story turns. Because early humans started to notice something the other animals didn't. After a wildfire swept through, they saw what it left behind. And what they found changed everything. Food. Small animals caught in the blaze, already cooked. Roots and seeds, roasted in the ground. The fire had done something no human could do. It had made food easier to eat and safer. For the first time, fire wasn't only a destroyer, it was a provider. But there was a problem. To eat what fire left behind, you had to go towards the one thing every instinct told you to flee. So the humans who thrived were the ones brave enough, or curious enough, to overcome that fear. Picture that first human who didn't run, who stopped and stared into the flames, who reached out towards the heat and felt something other than terror: fascination. That single act of courage may be one of the most important moments in human history. Because the next discovery was the real breakthrough. Fire could be carried. A burning branch, lifted from the flames, became something no animal had ever held. A piece of fire under human control. Now they didn't have to wait for lightning. They could take fire with them. But carrying fire came with a new challenge. Fire is hungry. Leave it alone, and it dies. So keeping a fire burning became a sacred, constant job. Someone had to feed it, shelter it from rain, and never let it go out. In many groups, one person was chosen as the keeper of the flame. It was a role of huge importance. Let the fire die, and the whole group might lose warmth, safety, and cooked food overnight. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans could use fire, but they still couldn't make it. And then came the final leap, the one that made humans truly the masters of fire. Somewhere someone noticed that rubbing wood together fast enough made it hot enough eventually to smoke, and then to spark. That tiny ember, nursed with dry grass and gentle breath, could grow into a flame. Others found that striking certain stones together threw off sparks. For the first time ever, a human could create fire from nothing but wood and stone. This was the moment humans stopped depending on the sky, and became the makers of fire themselves. And once humans controlled fire, everything about them began to change. Fire meant warmth. Humans could now survive cold nights and harsh winters. It meant light. The night was no longer a wall of darkness they were trapped inside. It meant safety. The one thing all predators feared now guarded the human camp. And above all, it meant cooked food. Cooking unlocked far more energy from food than eating it raw ever could. And many scientists believe that extra energy fueled the growth of the human brain itself. The very fire humans once fled may have helped build the mind that learned to tame it. But fire gave humans something else, something we still feel to this day. For the first time, night wasn't only for hiding and sleeping. The hours after dark became time to gather, to talk, to share. Around these fires, humans told the first stories, passed down the first knowledge. The firelight became the first classroom, the first theatre, the first home. That deep comfort you feel staring into a campfire, it's hundreds of thousands of years old. It's the echo of the safest place your ancestors ever knew. So how did ancient humans discover fire was safe? They didn't do it all at once. It took unimaginable courage, spread across countless generations, the bravery to walk towards the flames, the curiosity to carry them, the genius to finally make them. The most feared force in nature became the thing that made us human, and every fire you've ever sat beside is a gift from that first brave human who refused to run. If that gave you a new respect for the flame, stick around.